Hello, students. We are going to discuss chapter number 2 of business studies, class 11, that is forms of business organization. Students, every entrepreneur has to take a strategic decision about the form of business in which the business is to be incorporated. Each form of business has its distinct structure and relative features, merits, and limitations. Therefore, the entrepreneur needs to introspect various factors in the light of its own requirements and resources and to select a particular form of business organization. In the private sector, business organization exists in our society can be classified in five forms. Number one, sole trade, that is sole proprietorship. Number two, partnership. Number three, joint Hindu family business. Number four, cooperative societies. And number five, joint stock company. So these are the five forms of business organization in private sector. Let us discuss all these one by one. First of all, sole trade or sole proprietorship. The sole proprietorship is the simplest form under which one can operate a business. We often come across many businesses in our day-to-day life which is in the hands of a single owner. Most of shops in our local markets have single ownership primarily because they are run on a small scale. Sole proprietorship form of business organization is mainly popular for businesses that involve personalized services such as tailor shops, beauty parlors, stationery shops, and many others. The word sole means only, single, and proprietor means owner. For this reason, sole proprietorship is one who is the only owner of the business. A sole proprietorship form of business organization is owned, managed, and controlled by an individual who is the recipient of all the profits and bearer of all the risk. The term sole proprietorship has been defined differently by different authors as outlined below. So definition we will discuss later on. First of all, I would like to make it clear that sole trade or sole proprietorship is that kind of business which is controlled, managed and financed by a single owner. And that single owner is the recipient of all the profits of that business, and he is the risk bearer of all the risk of that business. So let us discuss some of the definitions. According to J.L. Hansen, sole trader is a type of business unit where a person is solely responsible for providing the capital, for bearing the risk of the enterprise, and for the management of the business. L.H. Haney has given the different definition, that is the individual proprietorship is the form of business organization at the head of which stands an individual as one who is responsible, who directs its operations, and who alone run the risk of the failure. According to James Stephenson, a sole trader is a person who carries on business exclusively by and for himself. So these are some of the definitions. Let us discuss some of the features of sole trade. Features. First is formation and closure. This type of business is very easy to form and very easy to close. It is relatively easy to start a business in the form of sole trade as there is no separate law that governs this form of business. And generally, a few legal formalities are required to start such a type of business. Second is liability. Liability. The liability of sole trade is unlimited. As a result, the personal assets of a sole proprietor may be used to settle the claim of the outsiders in case of business assets are insufficient. Means in case of loss, he is liable to pay the losses even out of his personal properties. So this is the second feature. Third feature is sole risk bearer and profit recipient. Being the sole owner of the business, the success or failure of the business will have a direct bearing on the sole proprietor. Fourth feature is control. The proprietor type business, sole trade, is controlled by a single owner. Feature number 5, no separate entity. As in the eyes of law, no distinction is made between the sole trader and business. Both are treated as one entity, so business has not a separate entity here. Feature number 6, lack of business continuity. The sole proprietorship form of business may be adversely affected on the death, insanity, imprisonment, physical ailment, or bankruptcy of the sole trader, and may lead to the closure of the business. So these are some of the features. Now let us discuss the merits of sole trader, yes, or sole proprietorship. Merits. The first merit is quick decision making. A sole trader is a single person who has to take all the decisions of the business, so has nobody to consult about his decision, so decision can be taken quickly. This is the first heading. And second is confidentiality. A sole trader is not bound by law to publish firm's accounts. Therefore, he can easily maintain confidentiality of the information by keeping all the information related to the business operation to himself only. Third point is direct incentive. A sole proprietorship has a direct motive to strive hard for the success of his business. Being a sole owner, the proprietor does not need to share profits of his business with anyone. Fourth merit is sense of accomplishment. The success of sole proprietorship business is a direct outcome of the efforts of the proprietor himself. So as a result, a sole proprietor gets immense personal satisfaction on his achievements in a business. Fifth importance is ease of formation and closure. Generally, minimum legal formalities are involved in the setting of or closing down a sole proprietorship type business, so it is very easy to form and to close such a type of business. So now let us discuss some of the limitations. Limitations of sole trade. First is limited resources. First limitation is limited resources. A sole proprietorship form of business suffers a terms of limited resources. The total investment in the business is restricted to personal savings of the sole proprietorship and his capacity to borrow from others. Second limitation is limited life of a business. A sole proprietorship form of business lacks a stable existence because an event like the death, insolvency, or illness of a proprietor creates an adverse effect on the continuity of the business, which can lead to the closure of the business. Third demerit is unlimited liability. A sole proprietorship is usually less inclined to assume greater risk in the business. This is because if the business plan does not work, his personal assets may also be utilized to settle claim of the business towards the third party. Means if there is a loss of the business and by selling the asset the funds are not sufficient to pay the losses, then businessman has to sell his personal property to pay off the losses, to pay off the creditors. And last limitation of the sole trade is limited managerial ability. The success of the sole proprietorship form of business organization primarily depends upon the managerial skills of sole proprietorship himself. It is usually observed that not many people possess multiple skills and are in proficient in all spheres of business. Besides, due to limited resources, it may not be particularly possible for a sole proprietorship to avail the services of a professional employees and managers. So there is always a lack of limited managerial ability. So this was about the sole trade students. In this chapter today, in this video, we discuss about the forms of business organization. There are 5 forms of business organization: sole proprietorship, partnership, joint Hindu family business, cooperative societies, and joint life company, joint stock company. And the first type, that is sole trade or sole proprietorship, we have discussed with its meaning, merits, features and demerits, and the remaining part we will discuss in the next video. Okay students, bye.